Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. We'll just give everybody a couple of minutes to join and then we can get started. Awesome, let's get started. Good morning everyone. I'm Pavatra from the product marketing team here at WebEngage. Thank you for taking your time and joining us today as we tune into yet another Fountainhead Learner Series masterclass. We have been covering quite a bunch of topics in the past. We've covered web personalization, campaign personalization, dashboards, Google Ads, and Facebooks. So, the topic for today is WhatsApp marketing. And in today's session, I'm going to be walking you through the basics and the significance of WhatsApp marketing and how crucial it can be to your marketing strategy. Not just that, I would want to make this session more actionable for you. So, I will give you a product walkthrough of how you can unleash the power of WhatsApp using WebEngage. And I'll also give you a few real life scenarios. Irrespective of what industry you are from, you can implement these in your organization and you can get started with WhatsApp marketing in no time. So, that's about the agenda for today. Let's get started. Also, another point to remember, during the course of this presentation, please feel free to ask any questions. I will answer them all by the end of this session. So just keep your questions coming. Let's dive into the world of WhatsApp. Now, WhatsApp, as you all know, is a messaging app that was founded by two of ex Yahoo employees. It's free, it's simple, secure, reliable, and reliable for messaging and calling. And as you all know, WhatsApp is a pun on the phrase "What's up." WhatsApp is definitely not one of those apps that you install and you forget, right? With a billion users logging in each day, it has become an irreplaceable tool for communication. So it has quickly emerged as the go to messaging app across the globe. And unlike other channels, other traditional channels like SMS, email, WhatsApp is turning out to be a platform where your users are relatively more active. So if you're anything like me, you probably can't remember the last day you went without using WhatsApp, right? So chances are you even probably sneaked a peek at least once in the past 2 hours. Such is the dominance of WhatsApp in our daily lives. And that's also why the application provides massive opportunities for businesses. We will see more about using WhatsApp business in your organizations in the upcoming slides. So I think for now, it's safe to say that WhatsApp marketing is the new way of engaging with today's digital customers. Just look at these stats. I mean, these are some mind numbing stats on the usage and popularity of WhatsApp across the globe. Like, WhatsApp today has over 2 billion users across 180 countries, and we have about 100 billion messages sent in a day with 1 billion daily active users. And WhatsApp is like the fourth most installed non-game application, and worldwide, hands down, is the most popular messaging app. And what I really like is 7 out of 10, like 70% of the times you send WhatsApp messages, it is read within the first 5 minutes. I mean, just look at the immediacy and the responsiveness of the WhatsApp as a platform. So 7 out of 10 times you send a WhatsApp message, it is read within the first 5 minutes. So, in a nutshell, these stats should definitely clear up any question you have regarding the app's metal as a business and a marketing tool. WhatsApp has been around for quite some time now, but I don't think it was until the launch of WhatsApp Business that the app slowly started becoming an indispensable element of your omni-channel marketing toolkit. The traditional channels of user engagement are, like we know, email, SMS, and so on. But for today's digital customer, WhatsApp is the most preferred channel of engagement. Let's see why now is the right time for you to start using WhatsApp as an engagement channel if you haven't already. As we saw in the previous slides, WhatsApp has over 2 billion users in a day, and this number is growing at the rate at which the user base is growing is half a billion for every 2 years. So it has a growing base, it has an expanding user base at least for the foreseeable future. And we also saw that 100 billion messages are sent via WhatsApp in a day. If you do the math, that's actually 1.1 million messages sent every second. Isn't this mind boggling? And the best part is the stickiness. The users spend nearly, any active WhatsApp user will spend on an average of 40 minutes in a day. And also the number of times an active WhatsApp user will you open the app is 25 to 30 times. So in a survey that was conducted to understand mobile usage, it was revealed that smartphone usage, like we know, is so habitual, right, that nearly 90% of the respondents say that they use their phone within 30 minutes of waking up. And here comes my favorite part, right? Not just that, 98% of open rate is, I mean, that's like a tentative ballpark figure that we have for the open rate for the WhatsApp messages that you send. I am sure this is compelling enough for you to start using WhatsApp for your business, because the immediacy, like I said, and the high engagement rates that WhatsApp has as a platform, it just blows away all the other forms of marketing. And for me as a marketer, I think this definitely will propel me to you start using business WhatsApp in my marketing strategy. So it's clear, I think, that businesses, you can't afford to ignore messaging apps on the whole. Apart from the rapidly growing user base, these apps also provide two key functionalities that traditional networks maybe don't, which is authenticity and personalization. In the previous masterclasses, we've seen enough about the power of personalization and how the potential that it has to offer to your business. So business is all about building relationships, and all relationships start with conversation. Considering that, it is very easy to see how messaging platforms such as WhatsApp can be of huge help to your brands. So Facebook, I'll just give you a very short backstory of how WhatsApp was acquired by Facebook. So Facebook bought WhatsApp for nearly $19 billion in 2014, which is, I think, squarely 19 times of what it paid for Instagram just 2 years earlier. Since then, this social network platform has made dedicated efforts to expand the use cases of WhatsApp. So, WhatsApp as a platform for supporting businesses, which is WhatsApp for your business, was unveiled by Facebook in 2018. WhatsApp Business is a free to use platform designed with small businesses owners in mind. And the announcement of this new app and enterprise only capabilities was like a aha moment for businesses both big and small. And this quickly started becoming the go to channel for extending business reach and engaging with your users meaningfully. So, who doesn't like? I mean, who really doesn't like an unprecedented user reach and engagement, right? So, it's all about taking your brand to where customers are. So if you really want to forge lasting connections with your users on a channel they value the most, then WhatsApp Business is your answer to it. Let's quickly see a few business benefits that you will stand to gain out of using WhatsApp. It gives companies a way to engage with your customers through an app that they already are using for everyday chat conversations. So the app offers businesses a convenient and direct gateway to a variety of customer communications and campaigns. So you can always reach your customers at scale with better accessibility, in fact with unrestricted accessibility. And the most important point in this day and age is fostering loyalty and trust. Now, gone are the days of frustrating customer service and support calls, like long hold times, never ending routing to agents, and backlog support emails, and all that. But with WhatsApp Business coming into play, you can provide a personal environment to chat with the customers in real time. Not just that, for every organization, managing regulations and compliances can definitely be a huge headache. But WhatsApp comes in with better security and privacy policies in place for sure, because it bakes in security features like end to end encryption, two factor authentication, and all that. But it also verifies your business account, about which I'll talk in the upcoming slides in a couple of minutes. So this empowers you to send relevant, no frills communication to your users. Now, these are, of course, just a few benefits of using WhatsApp. You can strengthen your omni-channel marketing approach, and you can also go beyond the world of text messages. It's not just text. When I just walk you through the product, I'll also show you how you can use other formats of media that you can use for creating these campaigns that just make it more engaging and interesting. I guess by now you must be convinced as to why you should start using WhatsApp, why you should add WhatsApp to your omni-channel toolkit if you haven't already. But in case you're not convinced, I have better stats for you. We just saw we saw a few stats for WhatsApp, but for WhatsApp Business, did you know that 175 million users send messages every day to a WhatsApp Business account, and we have about 17 million downloads, and in a day, okay, just in a day, 40 million users view business catalogs. What you see here is just a very short snippet of what Mark Zuckerberg had said back then when Facebook acquired WhatsApp. They have realized that WhatsApp is like a more engaging and it has a higher percentage of active users on the platform in general. So I definitely think with WhatsApp Business, when you start using it in your organization and your marketing strategy, you will have better reach and user engagement. Very few quick key features of the WhatsApp Business. What can you use? We have the message templates, which is a template of what kind of WhatsApp messages will you be sending it becomes a lot easier when you have these templates in place, and also quick replies. So when you have customer service enabled, you can just initiate quick replies. You can automate the messages. Like I said, there's built-in security. And one thing that's very exciting, one thing that's very intriguing is how can you label your conversations, because there's a lot of clutter that happens right in on the messaging platform. There's a lot of clutter that happens. How do you ensure you reach the right audience at the right time? You can just very quickly organize your chats and label them. Using these labels, you can segment your users, and you can also target them accordingly. And you can, like I said, 40 million users view business catalogs in a day, so you can just create a catalog that you can promote on WhatsApp. So these are a few key features of WhatsApp Business that you can tap into. Now, all that said and done, let's just talk about how you can introduce a new channel such as WhatsApp to your marketing strategy. I will break down everything that you need to know about WhatsApp Business and how can you add them to your existing omni-channel toolkit. Most importantly, I think WhatsApp as a messaging platform, people use it only for families and friends, right? To reach out to each other, to discuss personal things, anything. Mostly it's outside the professional world. So when the first thing you need to start thinking of is how you and your business can fit into these conversations that's already happening on WhatsApp. Maybe you need to customize and you need to adapt to your brand persona a bit, or you create a virtual person that's acting on your behalf. But whatever you do, since you're trying to talk to potential customers like in a space which is like a very intimate space such as WhatsApp, you need to create an appealing brand persona for them to engage with, for your users to engage with your brand. So let's see how we can get started with WhatsApp marketing. These are a few steps that you need to remember. Firstly, get your WhatsApp business account created. Second, whitelist all the message templates. So you have to create a business account for yourself and get it approved by WhatsApp. Just add your phone number. Ensure the few points that you need to remember. Ensure that the phone number is owned by you and also associated with an address. And for better credibility purposes, associate your WhatsApp business account number to your registered business address. Once you do that, you need to upload a few message templates. Now, these are message templates that it's a way of you telling WhatsApp that, hey, WhatsApp, these are the kind of messages I'm going to be sending to my users. So these are the templates. Now, upload these templates, and WhatsApp needs to approve these templates for you to be able to use them in your WhatsApp campaigns. So that is the second step. The third step is you integrate your WebEngage account with your WhatsApp service provider. Now, I'm just explaining this flow diagram for better understanding purposes. This is your WhatsApp account, business account, and you need a WhatsApp service provider to be able to send messages on WhatsApp to your target audience. So, though you're sending it though you initiate these campaigns and you launch them on the WebEngage platform, who actually sends these messages, who actually delivers these messages to your target audience is your WhatsApp service provider. So it is very important for you, it's a mandatory step for you to integrate your WhatsApp service provider with WebEngage. WebEngage, please know that WebEngage is not a WhatsApp service provider, but we of course provide seamless integration with all the top drawers in the industry, all the top layers of the WhatsApp service providers. So that's your third step. I will, in a couple of minutes, I will show you a product walkthrough of how you can do. And the next step is you add these WhatsApp templates to your WebEngage dashboard. And then you segment your users, you create, launch, and analyze campaigns. In this demo account, I've already created the WhatsApp integration. I've already added the WhatsApp integration, but I'll just show you maybe what it'll look like when you haven't integrated one. So from the left navigation menu under data platform, click on integrations. When you just scroll down, you will be able to find the WhatsApp setup. Click on configure. So if you've not added any WhatsApp service provider, this is what it will look like. Click on add WhatsApp service provider. From the available list of WhatsApp service providers we support, you can just choose one. Let's say I'm choosing Kalera here. Provide a configuration name. So this configuration name is the name that you're using for your WSP integration. Let's say I'm using Webbing Agent Kalera. Provide your WhatsApp business number here and the API key. You will be able to fetch the API key from the WhatsApp from your WhatsApp service provider's dashboard. If not, you can also get in touch with the account manager you have for your WhatsApp service provider. You can add the API keys accordingly. Just click on add WSP and it's as seamless. So that's how your WSP, your WhatsApp service provider, will be added to your Webbing Edge dashboard. I will show you what it will look like once you've added. So configure WhatsApp setup configure. So this is what it'll look like. Service provider configuration name. Now from the actions menu, you can manage the configuration. You can either edit it at any point after you've added the integration. You can edit it in case there's a change in the business account number or there are other details that you need to change. You can just make the necessary changes and update them. It will be reflected immediately. And the next one is deleting it. Please ensure that you're not running any campaigns, any WhatsApp campaigns using these WhatsApp service providers before you delete them. And view webhook URL. Now this webhook URL will be generated as soon as you add your WSP. I'll tell you where it will help you. You need to add this webhook URL to your WSP dashboard, because that is when you will start seeing the campaign performance. You will be able to see how your WhatsApp campaigns are performing on the Webbing Edge dashboard. So for you to be able to see those numbers, it is very important for you to add this URL to your WhatsApp service provider's dashboard. So like I said, the next step is adding WhatsApp templates. It's very easy. Just click on the plus icon, choose your WhatsApp service provider and choose the template time. Template type. Like I said, it could be text, image, video, document. It could just be anything. So choose text for now. Provide a template name for, let's say, I just want to send users messages on appointment reminders. Add the template text, choose the template language, and use the CTAs here. Now, I told you about adding these message templates to your WSP dashboard and getting it approved. I'll just show you a very quick glimpse of what that will look like. For example, here I've taken Kalera. This is, of course, for demo purposes. So under Kalera, now Kalera is my WhatsApp service provider. So just click on channels and click on WhatsApp. So I will show you what these message templates will look like, configurations and templates. So as you can see, these are the message templates I have uploaded to WhatsApp for approval, and you will be able to see the status here if it's rejected, pending, approved. Now, please ensure that only these approved templates these are templates approved by WhatsApp. So these are the only templates that you can add to your WebEngage account and start using it for your campaigns. So ensure that ensure that every message template that you use for your campaigns should be approved by WhatsApp. So this is just an example. Of course, these steps will vary from every WhatsApp service provider. This is just to show you what it will look like. Now coming back, so you saw what the template looks like. So you just have to add the template text here. I will show you a very quick structure of what your template structure should look like. Now, when you add these templates, you need to include placeholders. Now, these placeholders can be for anything, can be for text or for using emojis or for adding links, or even better, for adding personalization elements. When you create a template, you wouldn't know what these placeholders would be, right? The values of these placeholders, but you always know what the token is going to look like. So for example, if I say, and there's a format to it, this is how you have to include the placeholder. So if I say hi placeholder 1, it means I'm going to use hi first name. So that is a personalization element. You can then go on to draft your template text. So here, if it's appointment reminder, so I am saying This is to remind you about your appointment. And here I'm using the second placeholder where I know that I'll be including the appointment details on. There's another placeholder which is the date on which the appointment is at the time of appointment. Now, these are, of course, either user or event attributes that I will be then adding when I use this template for running my campaigns. So, this is to remind you about your appointment on at. That's it. So, you can just choose a button in case there's a call to action that you want the user to do. Let's say set a reminder in this case. You can also choose the behavior of the CTA. You can add as many buttons as you want. And what do you want the photo text to be? So let's say the doctors, ABC doctors team. This is just a photo that will appear towards the end of your WhatsApp messages. Go ahead and add the template. So there you go. I'll show you what it looks like once the template is added. So I have now added the WhatsApp template. This makes my job a lot easier. Once you have the template in place, all you need to do is just choose your segment audience, add this template, whatever placeholders I have used, just associate it with some personalization element or any other user or event attributes, and you're good to launch the campaigns. Now, when I talk about segmenting users, there's another important point that you need to remember, which is segment only opted in users. See, these are a few points that you need to remember, right? It is mandatory for you to get explicit concern from the users if you were to reach out to them on WhatsApp. Now, there are various ways, of course, various avenues through which you can get this concern from users. Maybe when they have, like an example that I've shown you, when they place an order or when they do a payment, you can always just have a very small checkbox towards the end saying, I now wish to receive communication over WhatsApp. Because when they place an order, they're always, users will always like to track the order status, right? We call it the order lifecycle updates. At every stage you give them updates of where the order is and what's happening with the order. That is when people would like to receive real time communication, right? That's when you can ask them to opt in, or you can always have it on your web page where you ask users to opt in for WhatsApp. Now, this is mandatory, right? Only if users opt in, there needs to be the explicit consent from users. Only then you can start targeting them for your WhatsApp campaigns. This WhatsApp has done this to curb marketing span. So, like I was telling you in the templates, you need to include at least one personalization element, right? Please don't create templates without even one personalization element. Add at least one placeholder that I was showing. And another important point that you need to remember is, right, your business account, when you create your business account, you will provide a number, and now this number will have a country code. When your users furnish information, it is very important for them also to provide this country code, because if they don't, what will happen is WhatsApp service provider will automatically assume that your user is in the same, has the same country code as that of your business account. Now, in most of the cases, this might or might not be true. In case it's not the same, then the message will not be delivered. So to ensure 100% delivery rate, always make sure that your users also provide the country code. Users who, of course, opt in for WhatsApp always provide when they provide their WhatsApp number, they should always provide their country codes. So the final step is you've now segmented the opted in users. I will show you how you can create the segmentation. Once you have this target audience in place, you can use this to create and launch your campaign. So let's just look at what we've done. We've created the WhatsApp business account. We've told WhatsApp what kind of messages we're going to be sending to our users. And then you've integrated your web engage account, the platform that you're going to use for launching these campaigns, with your WhatsApp service provider. And I've added, what am I going to send? I've added tick. Who am I going to send to? Segmented. Done. And when am I going to send are the details that I will tell you about when I create a campaign. So I'll just take you and I'll show you how you can create the segment. So let's just create a live segment, maybe. WhatsApp reachable users. To type, I just want to target all the users. And the next one, the main criteria here is reachability. They need to be reachable on WhatsApp. So this is one main criteria that you need to use for your WhatsApp segmented users. Now, of course, depending on your campaign, depending on your use case, you can change the segment, but this is only for WhatsApp reachable users. Behavioral, who did these events, you can just choose any of, if you wish to also segment users further, micro segment them based on what uses they performed or the technology that they're using, you can do it. Go ahead and save it. Now, as you're creating the segments, on the right hand side, you can of course see the preview of what the segment looks like: total users, known, unknown users, and the number of reachable users at any given point on this channel. So just save. There you go. That's how you create a live segment for users who have opted in for your WhatsApp messages. This is about segmentation. Now we'll see how you can launch campaigns, how you can create campaigns using these segmentations. For that, I'll explain this with the help of a few use cases, right? There are top five use cases, like top very common use cases that I'll be addressing in this session for you to use WhatsApp. How can you use WhatsApp using Webping Edge? Number one is, of course, sending booking confirmations, be it your flight tickets or your movie tickets or some hotel booking. It is always nice to, one way to use WhatsApp can be to send these booking confirmations. It just makes the entire process hassle free for the end user. The next one is cart abandonment. This has been like one of the most common problems that everybody in the e-commerce or the D2C industry is facing. So I will also show you how you can recover your cart abandonment problem by sending WhatsApp messages, by reaching out to the user on WhatsApp. And the third one, like I was saying, is the order lifecycle status. Once an order has been placed, you can send updates to the user at every stage. You can tell them, you can also communicate the shipping and the delivery date, so you can communicate a delay in the date. The next one is sending promotional messages. Could be birthdays, your festival offers, or flash sales. This could be anything. How can you send your promotional messages on WhatsApp? And the last one is sending updates, alerts, reminders, and notification. Appointment reminders, like I was showing you the example of creating templates, appointment reminders, or just could be your upcoming exam reminders, just could be anything. So these are five real life scenarios that I will be demonstrating today. So the first one is booking confirmation. Now, if it's a travel ticket booking confirmation, you can send them the ticket copy, or if it's the movie ticket, you can always, like you can see, you can just send them the code that they need to scan and enter. Or for food and beverages, they can use this ticket. And for hotel booking status, for check-ins, you can send these messages. Let's start with the first one, which is ticket confirmation, right? So, under data platform and integrations, I first need to be adding the WhatsApp template, correct? The template for sending booking confirmations. So, under WhatsApp setup, just click on configure. I have already added a template, so I'll just show you what it's going to look like. Okay, there's a campaign that's running. I'll just create one. Choose the template type, which is text, and the template name is best for booking updates. Let's say in this case, they've booked a flight. So I'll just tell them, I'll give them, send them updates about their flight booking. Hi, first name that I'll be using here. And this is to confirm that you've booked flight. I'll add the flight details here on, which is the day on when you actually, or the day of your travel, and at the time. For, you can also include the number of passengers. So here I'll be including the number of passengers. Now, when I'm adding these placeholders, right, I will associate them with the corresponding values. I'll just do this mapping. I'll also show you how the mapping can be done. So this is just a very simple template of your booking confirmation. Happy journey. Right now, I'm not adding a CTA because I don't want the user to take any action. I'm just giving them an update. So the footer will be airlines team. Add template. So you can go ahead and see the template over here. Booking flight, booking updates for flight. Now I've created the update. Now I've created the template. I'll show you how you can create a campaign. Under campaign manager, under channels, just click on WhatsApp. This will of course give you an overview of your WhatsApp campaigns, the overall performance, how many users are reachable, how many have you engaged with, by tags and all that, how many people have converted and everything. So this is the entire list of campaigns that you have. click on the list of campaigns, and these are the several campaign types: one time, or is it triggered, or does it occur on a recurring basis, or is it transactional? Right now it's just one time for me, so I click on one time. Provide a campaign name, flight booking confirmation. Campaign type is one type. Audience sent to users in a single segment. So do you remember the segment that we created, WhatsApp reachable users? So let's just say WhatsApp reachable users. Right now I'm sending, but I'll further have to segment this down only based on people who performed a specific event, which is they should have booked the flight ticket. So I can also choose to create another live segment. So the all users and the event that they should have performed. Flight booked at least once. They should have booked flight at least once. So for now, I'll just give it only once. Go ahead and save this save this segment. So I can send to users in multiple segments. Right now, I'm using two segments. One where WhatsApp where users are reachable via WhatsApp, and within that, I'm segmenting and adding another segment. Saying I also want to send to within these WhatsApp reachable users. I'm sending to those who have booked the flight ticket. So users in any of these segments booked flight tickets. Okay, right now there are no users who book flight tickets. Save and continue. It's one time delivery. When do you want to deliver? You can either send it right away, or you can also schedule the delivery. You can these frequency capping, D&D queuing, and throttling will help you with the frequency at which your messages are sent. So this is just to ensure that you keep your you keep the number of messages sent under check. The intent is not to spam the user with updates. So the next step is the message. So as soon as you go to the message screen, you will be asked to choose from a list of templates that you've already created. So remember, the first step is to create the template, and the next step is to use the template for launching your campaigns. So right now the campaign the template that we had created was booking updates for flight. See, this is where you can map the values for each of your placeholders. Right now, hi, number one is first name. The second one, this is to confirm that you booked the flight. Now I can go ahead and choose custom events, flight campaign ID. The third one is event time, event date, arrival date. And the next one is event time. So this is a raw preview of what it will look like. Maybe I'll just show you an example of what the user will look like. Now we've added the target users. So these parameters will be associated to the attributes of the users in the target segments, and that's how the message will be sent. I'll just maybe show you for like just give me 1 minute. I'll just go pick like a random user. So copy the user ID. This is just for testing purposes. This is only to show you what the preview will look like. I'm gonna pick up where I left. So I'm choosing first name. The second one is flight booked, campaign ID. The third one is flight booked. It's the arrival date, event time, and the fourth one is event time. The time, your flight timings. So you can just see the user preview here. Okay, the user does not seem to be available. But then when you add a user, you will be able to see the parameters associated to the user over here. Okay, there just seems to be some issue over here. But the next step is you test your campaign and you launch it. So this is how you create your WhatsApp campaigns. I will show you the next example of movie tickets. Let's go ahead and create another new campaign, which is one time movie updates. Users who opted in for WhatsApp, save and continue. It needs to be one time. And I've already created a template for movie updates, booking updates. So this is where you add the values and you launch the campaigns. So the next one is cart abandonment recovery. Now for cart abandonment recovery, you can create like an entire journey that you're seeing on the screen where in case the user adds a product to the cart is not available, you will then send a message through various channels. So in case the user is not available through any of these channels, you can then also reach out to them over WhatsApp. So I'll just show you how you can create the journey for that for a cart abandonment recovery. Click on journeys, add a journey. WhatsApp feature the users for cart abandonment. Now, the first trigger, the entry trigger should be occurrence of event. So when the user creates an event, add to cart is the event over here. Save, and then you send an email to the user because they've added to the cart. They've not made the purchase, so you send an email. This is of course another email campaign that you will be configuring. So you go ahead and add the action block here on bounce. So in case the WhatsApp the email message has not reached the user, then you can send the WhatsApp message. So this is where you go and configure your WhatsApp campaign. In this case, let's say cart abandonment message. Choose from a list of templates that you already have. In this case, it's the discount. And so the variable here is first name. So let me just try the user preview one more time. Got it. See, so this is what it's going to look like. In the place of one, the value that I've associated is first name. So you say, hey, Krima, thanks for your order. And then the template will, it'll just be shown as follows. Save and continue. You can just skip the test and you can add it. So this is how you see when a person is added to the cart, you try different channels of communicating and engaging with the user to let them know that, hey, come back and complete your purchase, but it is of no avail. And then you can include WhatsApp as a part, as a flow in the entire journey. You can also send WhatsApp messages because like I've been saying, it's a platform it's a platform where users are relatively more active and they engage better. So this was like a classic example of creating your cart abandonment journey. The next one is order lifecycle updates. So order lifecycle updates, once the order has been placed, you can send these shipping or delivery dates. You can communicate if there's a delay, and you can also be more proactive when there's a delay in the process. And you can, once post delivery, you can also ask them for feedback. These are just text messages that you'll be sending to the user. I'll show you how you can create these WhatsApp templates under integrations. Click on configure. So this is the shipping updates. There's one more shipping update. So we can order shipping updates. So this is the template that I've already created, right? Your order has just been sent and will be delivered as quickly as possible. Number one. So the placeholder here will be the name of the delivery agent or the agency who's getting it delivered. Will deliver your package on the destination address. You can track and traced. You can also, of course, track your package and your doorstep. This is your the location at which the package will be delivered. Now you can always add call to action buttons here. For example, here will be track my package, and when they click on, you can take them to the tracking website where the user can go and track their packages. Or in case they want to call the delivery agent, in this case, you can always ask them to call the phone number and you provide the details accordingly. Go ahead and save. And this is what your order shipping updates is going to look like. Now, again, you go create under campaign manager, go create a WhatsApp campaign. It's a one time, provide a name for this. Order updates. I'm going to be reaching out to all the WhatsApp opted in users. And like I said, add another micro segmentation to target users who have placed an order and are have also opted in for the order updates on WhatsApp. Use attribute. The first one is, um, of course, the first placeholder is for the first name. The number two is checkout address. And the number three is continue to follow. Let's just give city for here. Conversion tracking, if you want to enable the conversion tracking and you want to see how many users have converted or what's the revenue that you've generated from these campaigns, you can just turn it on. The next step is testing the campaigns. Now here, if there's A/B testing that you're doing, you can of course add another variation, but right now it's just one variation that I'm sticking to. You can create a test group to which you can launch this campaign. You can see what it looks like if all the links are working properly, and then you can launch it to the greater audience. But here for now, I'm just skipping the test and I'm proceeding. So you can check all the details here. I'm going to send it to WhatsApp opted in users and one-time campaign. This is what the preview will look like. Conversion tracking is disabled. Launch campaign. There you go. So this is how you see the status of a campaign that's running. The next one is sending promotional messages. So like I said, if it's your birthday or if it's a seasonal offer, or if you want to communicate regarding the loyalty programs or memberships, you can always use these promotional messages. Again, these are text messages that you use. Transactional updates are also these company updates or business critical information, payment links or online payment, anything that is to do with transactions. You can always send these text related messages to your target audience. Reminders is, I was showing you the appointment reminder template at the beginning. So if there's a trip detail, an upcoming trip, or policies need to be renewed, or there's an examination that the student will have to take, or if there are appointments to the doctor, you can always send these reminders. The idea is to ensure that your users don't miss any important deadlines. So the possibilities, as we know, are endless. They're just endless possibilities. The more these are additional use cases that you can use for you can leverage WhatsApp using web engage. So streamline customer service, or you can facilitate feedback. Like I said, after you've placed the order, you can always ask them for reviews, rating, ask them to leave a, so you can give them a survey, ask them for review, and you can send recommendations of if they've made one purchase. Hey, I checked out that you've made this purchase, so these are other products that you can view. You can just make the whole online payments hassle free, and you can garner more website traffic. So if there's a piece of content that you've created and you think is engaging enough, is very relevant to the user, send it to them over WhatsApp, and then that traffic will be diverted to your website. So that is about how the significance of WhatsApp marketing and why it's very important in this day and age, and why WhatsApp marketing is like the new way to engage with today's digital customers. And I showed you steps on how you can add WhatsApp account, your WhatsApp service provider, to your web engage account. How can you add templates, and you can launch and analyze your WhatsApp campaigns. That brings us to the end of this session. So I'm just opening the floor to questions. You can just keep your questions coming. How do I know which placeholder is for which data? Okay, that's a good question. Like whoever is a marketing person, it's a general assumption that when you say hi one, it's the first name that you use. And in the place of these numbers, you can actually not add text like you say hi first name. You can't do that. That's just like how you study the template. So if it's hi one, I'll know for sure that one is like first name. That's just the way of knowing internally. The next question we have is why a template may be rejected. So, a template may be rejected because of various reasons. Uh, WhatsApp wants to curb marketing spam. So, if it's way too promotional, or if it really is intruding the user's privacy, then WhatsApp might reject. But I will also, at the end of the session, I'll give you links that you can read about the WhatsApp policies on what can you do to adhere to the WhatsApp guidelines to ensure that your templates get approved. The flight booking message is a transactional message. What I've really shown here is you just fly more than transactional. It's just more of an update. It's just a confirmation. So it does not have to be transactional in all the cases. You book a flight and you just let the user know that this is confirmation. But unless and until you add other details to this message, it'll not become transactional. It'll just be more of a text update message. Is there a limit on the number of users we can send a WhatsApp? What are the key value pairs? Will those be helpful for your WhatsApp campaigns? So I will also introduce another person from the team, Rahul from the product team, who will help me answer. There've been a lot of questions coming, so I'll just need Rahul's help in answering a few questions.
Hey, hi. Um, so I'll just take this question. What are key value pairs? So basically, since we can integrate with multiple service providers. WebEngage allows you to use multiple service providers for your WhatsApp campaigns. And if in case you want to use, if you in case you want to pass certain extra data, or your service provider asks you to pass certain extra values, then you can actually use a key value pairs option, or maybe pass some extra headers while integrating your WhatsApp service provider, and send those data to your WhatsApp service provider. So that way, like if in case you want to generate some extra reports over and above what WebEngage is providing through your maybe service provider, then those can be actually adhered to.
The next question is there a limit on the number of users we can send a WhatsApp message to, like in a day?
No, there is no such limit like that. However, when you are targeting those, obviously the as Pavitra had mentioned, those users should be opted in. Only then the messages will reach to the end users. And at the same time, you shouldn't be sending too many messages in a single day, because in that case, the user can actually block your business number, which can be very bad for your business WhatsApp business code.
Yeah, it hurts your credibility. The next one is what are the reasons for failure? So, what Pramod is saying is the failure reasons on WebEngage is just other reasons. How will we know specifically what is the reason for failure of delivery?
Yeah. On WebEngage dashboard, we have added multiple failure reasons from WhatsApp business number being invalid to user that you're trying to send has blocked you. So we have covered all the ranges that are there. Even for that matter, the template that you have added, like is maybe not in the right format with which you have added with the service provider. So in this case, most of the reasons you will actually directly be able to see in your campaign stats page, but there are over and above certain other reasons that also can be there, that certain what service providers might be sending to us, which are not mapped on WebEngage dashboard, which we label as other reasons. So in that case, you can actually see the it on you can actually see it in two places. One is in the WebEngage's user event stream, or at the same time you can actually go and directly see in the service providers dashboard.
Okay. There's also another question. How will the end user understand the sender? So, this, like I said, you will have to create your WhatsApp business account first and you'll have to get it registered. So, that is the account from which your WhatsApp messages will be sent to your end user. For example, let's say WebEngage. As WebEngage, if we're sending messages, then the sender will be WebEngage. The WhatsApp message that you receive will be from WebEngage, and that, of course, will be a verified WhatsApp business account. Because as a part of creating your WhatsApp business account, one major step is approval. So once it's approved, only then can you actually start using your WhatsApp business account. So I think there are a few other questions. How do I select the right WhatsApp service provider? That I think differs from organization to organization. We, of course, WebEngage offers seamless integration with a lot of WhatsApp service providers to begin with, so you can just choose from the drop down. But otherwise, I think that's a call that it boils down to the organization's call. Rahul, is there anything you'd like to add to it?
No, like absolutely. Like whatever service provider is best suitable for your business requirements, you can just go with that. And WebEngage allows you to. WebEngage has multiple plug and play integrations right away, ready like Kalera, Yellow Messenger, etc. But also we have an option to add. You can wherein you can add custom plugins as well, wherein you can, if there is some plugin that is not present on WebEngage dashboard right away as plug and play, you can always add them through custom plugins.
Rahul has asked, can I upscale and cross sale? So I think that again falls under making having a very salesy pitch to WhatsApp. If you can manage to get your template approved by WhatsApp, then I think you can use it on your WebEngage dashboard. But otherwise, we recommend not having such salesy pitch on WhatsApp because it's just a channel that you're using for engaging with your users. It's more informational, and you're just trying to make it more conversational. So the key point here is to get your template approved by WhatsApp. So I think that's about it. Thank you everybody for joining today's session. You will be receiving a recording, the presentation, and all the other resources